Hey there, this is the Heir of Carthage bringing you another Rome Total War online commentary video. As you can see, I'm commanding the Carthaginians, and my opponent is Ace Blazer, one of my friends from YouTube, and a very good, honorable player. He and I have been playing some games, or we played some games last night. We wanted to play some kind of historical armies against each other. So I'm using a more accurate Carthaginian army. I have 2 units of Numidian mercenary cavalry, which the Carthaginians frequently used. I have 4 units of Libyan spearmen, and the bulk of my army is made up of Iberian infantry. I have 6 units of them, fully upgraded. I have 4 units of upgraded slingers, 1 unit of general bodyguard, 1 unit of general's bodyguard, 2 units of pointy infantry to make up the elite part of my army, and 1 unit of elephants. Just the regular kind, not the fancy kind. Let's take a look at Ace's army. We're typing to each other a lot in this battle, talking to each other. Just a good friendly battle, no real like heated competition or anything, so it was real fun. He's got 2 units of Velites on the front. Looks like 4 units of Hastati, 4 units of Principe, 2 units of Triarii, and 2 units of Equites. I brought up my Numidian cavalry to skirmish with his Velites. I actually at the time thought they were Roman archers. I was mistaken. But in any case, I brought them up to skirmish. I had tried to put them in Cantabrian circle, and they kind of did, or kind of, I guess they were out of training. Anyway, Ace is moving up his Acer triplex formation, which was the triple line used by the Romans. Quite an accurate representation of it here. The Velites would have been leading up in the front. He brings his Hastati forward. I have my slingers up front skirmishing. You'll notice that I put my Iberians into a V shape on the front. This is to draw his men in so that they have the concern about exposed flanks. So it's kind of a tactic I have, and then I have available to help the Libyan spearmen on either flank. They can come in and help the Iberians or protect against cavalry attacks. But the early Romans did not have a large force of cavalry unless they had hired auxilia units. So the Carthaginians would certainly have had a cavalry superiority in almost every fight against the Carthaginians. And I'll save my elephants for a time in which I feel like I need them. So anyway, we've just been doing some skirmishing. Like I said, we type back and forth a lot, so if you see units sitting still, it's probably because we're talking to each other, having a good time, which is one of the fun things to do on Rome Total War, actually have a good time rather than be overly worried about competition all the time. Too many players worry about competing and don't just enjoy the game for what it is. So he brings forward his Hastati, and this would be a good historical matchup, Iberians versus Hastati and Principes. My Iberians have a lot more upgrades than his troops, so they're going to prove superior to his Hastati. But you can see right here, this is exactly what I hoped for. If you look on the screen, it says wavering, concerned over exposed flanks. That was my idea behind this V-shaped formation. Here I bring in a quick strike with my Numidians to rout these Hastati. And Ace is bringing in his second line, much as the Romans would have if the Hastati were in trouble. My elephants have struck on my left flank, his right flank, and they're caused a chain rout there. So his Principes and Hastati are engaging my Iberians here, and it's a pretty even fight until I hammer in with the elephants, and that causes them to rout. Ace was a little bit frustrated because of his Roman army was having trouble with my Iberians, and I think that concerned over exposed flanks and then the elephants played a role in my troops winning. I think if I had my troops in a straight line, it would have been a much tougher fight for them, but that concerned over exposed flank I think really helped me out. That's the reason why I set them up in that. In historical fights, Hannibal would often have his infantry give way so that the Romans would fall in and then end up becoming surrounded. And I didn't necessarily give way here, I just kind of made it to where when his troops came in they would feel surrounded. So that was my idea, my manner of thinking in this battle. Like you can see, most of my troops are sitting still. My Iberians actually met success for once, which was very different from their battle with Germania. Apparently Iberians are quite scared of Germans. So here I am trying to finish up the battle. Like I said, a lot of our troops are sitting still, so if you think we're terrible players, it's not really that. We're just talking. Of course, I'm not going to say I'm a great player. Ace and I played probably 5 or 6 battles last night, and as far as the more historically matched ones goes, Carthage was successful, but whenever I played Ace in a more competitive setting, where he used Macedon or one of the other factions, he soundly defeated me in those matches. So it seemed like I had the edge in these matches, but Ace definitely had the edge in the more competitive matches. He's a really good player, and it was fun to play against him. Nice player too, so I appreciated the opportunity. So you can see my Iberians are carrying on the fight here. I've got my Libyans here just in case I need them. He's going to charge some cavalry over towards my slingers, and I'm just going to get in a fight with my Numidians and my general's bodyguard. Not a whole lot of action going on here. The bulk of the battle was already won by my Iberians. In any case, one difference between this battle and a lot of historical battles that the Romans and the Carthaginians had was that I outnumbered my opponent here, which was not frequently the case for Carthage. They were usually outnumbered by the Romans. And you will see that in another video that I upload where Ace and I decided to play the historical online battle of the river Trebia. And you'll see that Ace was successful in that battle also. Sorry to ruin the surprise. In any case, these games with Ace were real fun. Like I said, had a good time. He was frustrated these Iberians were so tough to crack, and I was actually proud of my Iberians for standing their ground for the most part for once, and most of them pretty much fought to the death. It was nice to see them doing that, because I would expect that from them in real life also. Here I'm finishing off his Triarii and Principes, which have been some of the more elite units in his army. I have my pointy infantry here to back them up. Rome Total War calls them pointy infantry, and I guess pointy just indicates they would have been infantry from the island of Sicily, from as far as I've learned. But in actuality, I guess they could have had troops from Sicily in the Carthaginian army, but these would probably have been Libyan spearmen who were trained in phalanx warfare.
This general is the perfect enemy. He does not stand,
in any case, you can see that the majority of his troops are now routing, and this battle's pretty much over. So Ace admitted defeat, and like I said, if you want to see the victories where Ace won, he's going to post his victories, and I'm going to post one of my victories here. So as you can see, that was a clear victory for me, and I had 1,014 kills, and my friend and opponent Ace Blazer had 622 kills. Good game to Ace Blazer, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to play against this Pre-Marian army.